This is what glorious FPS action looks like in VR. When Bethesda made the leap to take Doom into VR, they went all out and created a completely standalone story based on the Doom 2016 reboot game. Yet despite what seems to be a list of all of the key ingredients required to make any FPS fan's dream game, Doom VFR sits as one of VR's worst reviewed games on Steam. In order to find out what my personal experiences were with the game and whether or not this rating is deserved, let's jump in. Doom VFR almost immediately sets itself apart by making it quite clear that you're not playing as a regular Doom guy, but rather as a random scientist who happens to get himself in way over his head. After summarily being brutally taken apart by a demon, you awaken to find yourself in a cybernetic body, which will serve as your primary weapon of stopping the hordes of hell. It immediately becomes clear that straight out of the box you have two movement options at your disposal. The first one being the almost standard for VR teleport movement, which coincidentally is also used to execute your glory kills, and a quick dash movement that lets you take quick directional dashes to avoid enemy attacks. A quick note here is that this control scheme works decently well using Vive Wand controllers, but poses some additional challenges with other VR controller types, and will require you to use some of the button remapping options offered by Steam VR. More on that later. Once you complete the tutorial, you're dropped back into the research division where you first found your body, before setting out to find a way to stop the hordes of hell from pouring into your world. This quest then takes you through several parts of the facility as you rip your way through endless hordes of demons and the occasional minigame puzzle before finally taking the fight into hell itself for some more demon slaying action. In the end, the game takes about 3 to 4 full hours to complete, but because of a mission select screen, you can extend that by several hours more if you feel like ripping through particular challenges over and over again. Speaking of challenges, let's talk about them in our next segment, Weapons and Combat. Doom VFR features all of the iconic arsenal of weapons, including the super shotgun, rocket launcher, plasma rifle, and of course the BFG. Although in this instance, the BFG has been replaced with a grenade launcher type weapon that has a noticeably different feel to it, but is just as deadly and perfect for when you need to clear out a room fast. And trust me, you're gonna need them. Doom VFR gives you no mercy as it throws hundreds of fast and demonic entities your way. The key to staying alive here is staying on the move and using the teleport movement option to slow down time as you plan your next course of action. The biggest struggle that I had was detecting enemy attacks coming from behind. On higher difficulty levels, your health and armor are very limited, and if you're not paying enough attention to your surroundings, you're dead in no time flat. That being said though, most of the challenges throughout the game are quite balanced and give you enough space to move around. The thrill you get from hunting down demons as you rip through their flesh really gives me the hope that we'll see more high-paced action games in VR soon. Doom VFR is probably still one of the best looking VR games to date. All of the models used for enemies and level details are extremely high quality and massively add to the sense of immersion. Unfortunately, it's noticeable that there are still some optimization issues to be had, which result in asset popping from time to time and require you to use a reasonably high setup in order to play this game without getting motion sickness. Having a strong and stable FPS with a good refresh rate is key to avoiding this. When it comes to other aspects of immersion, like how you interact with the world for example, you can tell that Doom VFR takes a more arcade-like approach, which to its credit results in less distractions during the high-paced combat sequences. One of the downsides of this approach though is that it makes the game feel really dated during sections where you need to interact with your environment because of the lack of physics interactions with switches and other environmental puzzles. So why the overall negative reviews on Steam? One of the main issues that most players have with Doom VFR is that it has poor built-in support for VR headsets other than the HTC Vive series. And even there, the configuration options for both comfort and locomotion are extremely lacking at this point in time. One of the main things that users expect is the option for smooth locomotion, which is not supported when using VR controllers, but is supported when using a gamepad. Another lacking feature is the ability to enable snap or smooth turning. When running around arenas at high speed, you do not have the time to get caught up in your own wires, and having the ability to control your rotation using the secondary joystick is a godsend. Luckily, these days most, if not all of these limitations can be overcome with a little modding of configuration files, which enable both smooth locomotion and smooth turning, which completely overhaul the experience, making it an even bigger mystery as to why Bethesda cannot be bothered to update the title with proper support for these features when they change the game so much. So what's my overall conclusion? I believe Doom VFR is a game with amazing potential, which unfortunately is cut short by poor support. After personally tweaking the game to fully support the Valve Index, which I was using, I absolutely had a blast playing through this and would love to see a more up-to-date and polished sequel. So my recommendation is a little split depending on your situation. If you have a Vive headset, I can recommend this game without question. If you have either very strong VR legs or a Valve Index which can run this game at 120 Hz and are willing to invest a little time into tweaking the game, then I would also say that this game is still great. If you do not fall into the above categories though, I'd stay clear from the title until Bethesda issues an update on the game. If you've played Doom VFR before, I'd be curious to know how you feel about the game in the comments down below. That's all for now, and I will see you guys next time.